what I foresee happening, because this is the most accurate mock draft in the history of mock drafts. It's going to go down exactly this way.
Oh, sure.
Um, but it does leave us with a hole at defensive tackle. But I still feel in the secondary that is a bigger question mark and a more pressing one too. So I would really love it if we got him back. So nothing against him personally, but I really hope no other team pays him the type of money he's looking for.
Yeah, I would just say, at least in my opinion, like D tackle kind of feels like running back when it comes to contracts. Like I feel like D tackles never get those contracts that are huge, right? Unless you have somebody like an Aaron Donald, right? I think
Right.
Ndamukong Suh got a big contract at one point in his life. I don't know. For me, like one of the hardest positions to find somebody that I don't know, makes a real difference at that D tackle position. It's just incredibly hard to find somebody. Like I feel like a lot of times teams just plug and play guys who, have a lot of talent, but at the same time they don't really produce a whole lot at that position. It's not a position that you see the high tackle counts or the high sack numbers. I think tackles for a loss is usually what I look at when I look at D
Right.
tackles. And a lot of times it's like, in the teens, and you're like, oh, this guy can play.
Yeah.
And,
Well, D tackle, it's like it's hard because and it depends on the scheme too. Because they don't. I mean, obviously, I know that our front office is a lot smarter than you and I, which isn't hard to be. But I always kind of look at more of just like what are the guys around that D tackle doing? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you have a D tackle that's going to hog up blocks. You know what I mean? Who's going to get that quarterback out of the pocket? You know what I mean? Maybe rush up the middle, get that quarterback out of that pocket, and right into the lap of a Myles Garrett or a Jadeveon Clowney or whoever. You know what I mean? Are balls rushed? You know what I mean? Did they rush the pass? You know what I mean? Just all that stuff. But like, it's hard to really put all that stuff on a stat sheet and warrant a huge contract, which sucks. Like, I would value defensive tackle a little bit higher than running back, but it's not too far just because it's it's an unmentioned position. Like, you know what I mean? In a lot of ways, it's almost like playing O line on the D line. Like, it's not a sexy stat line position, unless, of course, you're Aaron Donald, who's just a freaking complete maniac. And by the way, how did you like my fake out about us getting Aaron Donald the other night?
I mean, I gotta say, I Googled it once you sent it, but I had very little faith that was true.
I was thinking there was a chance he might buy it for a couple minutes just because like a report came out that he'd gotten some off-field trouble or something like that. And
which was a complete lie, by the way. I don't know if
you remember. That's crazy. I mean, shit, dude. If you're a pro athlete in today's world, dude, you got to keep I would pay one of my entourage just to film me 24/7. 24/7, just film me. Any lawsuit that comes through, you got your evidence right there that you didn't do nothing wrong. Because that's I saw that whole story. I saw that what was the end result, and it's like not only did he not punch the guy fucked with him first, and then he saved the guy's ass from getting beaten down worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Aaron Donald's a great guy.
Yeah.
Better than I would have been in that situation, for goddamn sure.
So what's next on the docket, Coat?
Let's see here. Okay. 3 players you hope are still on the board at 26, at number 26. And let's be realistic here. Of those 3, who do you take?
All right. I think I'll start. I think the 3 guys that I would really love to see.
Yeah. But when I say be realistic, I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? Let's hope a freaking top 10 projected top 10 draft pick is there. You know what I'm saying?
I won't put Kyle Pitts on my list, okay?
Yes, exactly.
But
Because
I
you've been
will
talking about
say,
it, and it's been annoying me. We shouldn't even be thinking about that guy's name. I've been bashing this guy, who's probably a great kid, just because of the fact you keep on talking about a potential. What if we trade up? Yeah.
so I think where I want to go with this is to start. Um, like JOK. I feel like my love for this kid has come pretty late, and I'm pretty upset that all the hate that I've thrown your direction for drafting a linebacker in the first round is starting to come back at me. But I do feel like this kid out of Notre Dame is something special. I'd say like the one knock on him is his size at 215. Like it's tough to make a living as a linebacker, but I mean the league has changed, and so 215 for a linebacker isn't the same thing that it used to mean, right? Um, and so I've watched this kid play and I am absolutely blown away. So I hope that he is still there. I don't know if that's realistic or not. I would say my second is absolutely Caleb Farley, my favorite defensive back in the draft. When I heard that he had back surgery, it started getting me thinking that he could fall. And we could see somebody say, I'd rather take Newsome as the second or third best corner in this draft, which I think is amazing that people are saying things like that. I just don't see the same skill set when I look at Surtain. I like Horn a lot, and so I'm going to put Horn as my number three. I hope Horn is available at this point. Like I looked at corners very early in this offseason, and Horn absolutely stuck out to me. But those are my three. I'm going with JOK, JC Horn, and Caleb Farley. And I really hope that we could draft Caleb Farley. I think it would be absolutely amazing to watch this kid turn into what I think he's going to turn into. How about you, Coat?
Well, first of all, I just want to piggyback real quick. So you're now blossoming love for a linebacker in the first. Uh, I have had that love for probably about 2 months now, and you pretty much, I think you're the biggest factor of talking me out of it. So I'm a little bit fucking pissed off that now you're starting to freaking get some rumblings about it. But as far as Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa, if I said his name right, I do like the guy. I think he is special in coverage. I wouldn't be too concerned about his weight. Obviously, we want him to build up some more muscle, put down some more weight. But the way it looks to me that we're trying to use linebacker is pretty much a glorified, cheaper version of a safety. And he kind of checks all the boxes there in his ability to cover. I know forever I've been kind of ringing the bell of Collins at linebacker, but I think this kid's number one. He's had better competition than Collins has, than Zaven Collin, and he's faster. He's got more speed. Which, if you're going to try to implement more safety, he's going to be good. He's going to be better than Collins in that department, I think. And when I really look more at our defense, we're not looking to blitz our linebackers nearly as often as maybe other teams. So I actually think it's a good fit, and I would not mind if he was our guy. But my three guys, I have number one, I have Christian Barmore, a guy who's kind of been a weird topic amongst our conversations about pre-draft stuff. This has nothing to do. I was talking about this dude before the Sheldon Richardson release ever came about. Man, this guy, I think, has the ability to be something special. I know people are down on D tackle this year, and you could even pick holes, you know what I mean, with Barmore. You know what I mean? There was a lot of games where he kind of was a non-factor. But if you look at every big game this team had the last couple of years, this guy was right in the middle, if not the best player on the field. And coming from a team like Alabama that seemingly just gets to cherry pick every good player coming out of high school, I think says a lot. I think his ability to rush the passer from inside is rare. And then if you were able to take that and put him, you know what I mean, on a D line with, number one in just with the D tackles we have some veterans. We have, Malik Jackson, who's a Super Bowl winner. You know what I mean, former All Pro. This guy could freaking mentor this kid and really create something special. And then you look at our edges. I mean, the attention is not going to be on the middle of that D line. And this guy has the ability to get right up the middle and smack a quarterback right in his face. So I'm really high on him. I'll piggyback off you. I really want Joe Horn to be floating around right there. And
yeah, his name's JC. Joe Horn's his dad.
Oh, oops. You'll edit that out for sure.
I hope we don't draft Joe.
Hey, I would draft Joe Horn because obviously the guy's got some good genes, I like his touchdown celebrations,
I do like his touchdown celebrations.
But anyways, back to JC Horn. I think Patrick Surtain, he kind of seems like he has the most traffic for being, regarded as the top cornerback. Maybe not the best, but like that's going to probably be the guy that goes first. And then who goes second, is kind of a little bit up in the air between Horn, Farley. I never really seen Newsome necessarily in there. But I could make the argument that I think JC Horn is my favorite of the cornerbacks. So obviously I would really want him there.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3 is landing right in our laps. He's not the biggest need right now. He is a Troy Valentine guy. And I'm going to go with Kwity Paye.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if Kwity Paye was right there. Because, I mean, even though it's not a need, I think he is the best pass rusher in the entire draft. And if he's right there at 26, even though it's not a need, I don't see how you can potentially even entertain not taking this guy or even trading out of that spot, because I think he fits our defense to a T. I think he's got great burst and energy. And why not just keep on, you know what I mean? If he's going to be there, even though we don't need it, like what's wrong with having 4 good pass rushers on this defense?
Nothing is wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think Joe Horn would love that challenge. Or I mean, not Joe Horn.
Joe Woods. Yeah.
Joe Woods. I'm sorry. Maybe we should hire Joe Horn as our defensive coordinator.
You're just gonna have Joe Horn everywhere on our team.
But yeah, and so like
the coach, the owner.
So let's just say, and I mean, what a dilemma that would be if we were sitting at 26 and on our board was Christian Barmore, JC Horn, and Kwity Paye. I mean, I think me and you would probably both die before the pick even got in of a freaking complete orgasm.
I see another argument happening here. Maybe some actual violent combat with who we should pick, because I know you would pick Horn over Paye.
I would not pick. No, I was saying Paye would be the pick.
I think Paye would be the pick. I just don't see him falling to 26.
I really don't either, but like I've just been watching, like I've been going crazy with mock drafts and like, watching them and reading them. I'm seeing a lot where he is right there, and I'm just like, what am I not seeing?
The mainstream sports media has us taking Kwity Paye at 26. And so I know where that's coming from. Look, I just want to come back to this conversation about Barmore because, I've been giving you shit for about 2 months about this guy. I don't see it. I don't know if you noticed, but, we signed a practice squad guy named Sheldon Day. And I see him coming in and with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to make sure that he makes this team. But that gives us 4 D tackles. I would say Clowney can hop in and play, in interior defensive line. And so I see us as having like 4.5. When you were talking Barmore, we had Sheldon there. And so that's 5.5 guys at defensive tackle. I don't know. I just don't